Okay, this is part 2 of the update. Ran out of video space, so had to delete some stuff. I've just been talking about the cabbages that I planted. This was the first set of cabbages, which is called Pointed Sweetheart. And this is the second set, just about to see. And these are called spring duck cabbages. Planted these out about, I think it's 2 weeks ago. And then the third set of cabbages at the back, they all look the same really, but it's called spring stonehead. Very early days for these. Unlike some of my other crop, they haven't been touched by the pigeons. Okay, this is part 2 of the video, but in my first part I was talking about potatoes and how I've only grown potatoes in one area before. I haven't replanted any potatoes since then, but they just keep on coming up, obviously because I haven't been digging out all that's in the ground. So I've got a fair few plants there that have come up, and again, if you saw my original video that I did about 5 or 6 weeks ago, you could see that it was probably about 3 potato plants that were coming up, very small. They were all like that, but 5 or 6 weeks later they're coming up in full effect. I have some butternut squash grown here as well, 1 there and 3 over there. They're coming up quite well. As soon as I put them in the ground, they've really doubled in size quite quickly. Just in case you didn't see the video before this is part 2, as I keep saying. This is what I'd shown in the previous video, but I'd gone through and spoke about the plants and what's happened to them. Okay, the sweet corn. I planted them out in different times. I think this first set I'm showing you now, I think I planted them out too early. They're quite small. They have been germinated or pollinated, sorry. And so there are sweet corn growing there, but they're really small. I planted these ones out after. They were all sowed. These and these were sowed at the same time, but these went out a bit later and have done a lot better than the first lot. They're a lot taller, and yeah, again, sweet corn are growing on them. But compared to when I did them a couple of years ago, they were a lot taller, so I don't know how they're gonna pan out. And these lot was sowed about 3 weeks, maybe a month after the original lot, and they've been out here about a week now. They look quite healthy. And have I just spotted black fly? No, I haven't. Okay, so that's the sweet corn. Let's move on to over here. Some more butternut squash. Now I was going to use this little area here to transplant my parsnips, carrots, even beetroot into this area, because I thought I'd sowed too many seeds in the other spot. But actually they're doing okay. I don't think I need to transplant them. Well, I won't need to transplant all of them, just probably a third. But again, if you saw my video 6 weeks ago, you saw these were like little tiny little things, and now they have just boomed. They're just massive, very healthy looking carrots. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 rows of carrots. And next to the carrots I have parsnip. Then next to the parsnip we have beetroots, and there's about 3 rows of beetroots. Again, hopefully these won't need thinning out. Parsnips. Gonna try eating the leaves of the beetroot this year because apparently they're quite high in vitamins. Okay, now we're inside the polytunnel. Not much to really talk about in here because this is where I put most of my plants that I've repotted. There's Carolina Reaper there. So some of these plants are really starting to go for it. It's a new one to me, Katie. I don't know what's going on there. Got a worm in there, or whatever it is. I've done some what's called Grenadian seasoning peppers. Spoke about them in a couple of other videos. They're not a chili pepper, they're just a seasoning pepper, but they look like chili peppers, they smell like them. When you start to eat one, it tastes like it's going to be really hot, and it's not, it's just got the nice flavour. The reason why I'm growing them, because the only place I've been able to get hold of them is from Grenada in the Caribbean, which I only get a load once a year when my mum comes over. So I thought, you know what, try and grow it myself, and that's what I'm doing. So I've got, well, quite a few plants of the Grenadian seasoning pepper. Here are some overwintered chili pepper plants. Been flowering for quite some time. This one's even got a chili on it. We are currently, I think, like I say, it's 10th or 11th of June. There are quite a few dead buds, flowers, because they didn't get pollinated. But I've totally opened up my polytunnel now, so all the pollinators can come in and do what they got to do. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna overwinter any chilies this year. I think for the cost of overwintering them for me in a greenhouse, it's not really cost effective. But it was a nice little experiment. Out of the 40 that I tried to overwinter, I probably only got about 10 that I was able to overwinter. This is an overwintered one. In fact, all the ones across this row are overwintered. Apart from this one here, chocolate naga, which is flowering nicely. Another overwintered one. Like I say, not too much to show you because there's no fruit growing at the moment, but in my opinion they are doing quite well, these plants. There's a load that need repotting. I'm not quite sure. I think I counted about 350 chilli plants that I'm doing this year. Not different types, just 350 plants, which will definitely fill this polytunnel, and might have two. I'll save one for other stuff. It's very messy in here at the moment. I've not had a lot of time, but once everything's repotted, I'll have a good clean up. But I'd say in the by the time I've done my next video, it will be full in here. I'll have all my plants in here, all in the right positions. Yeah, this polytunnel's taken a bit of a battering with all the winds that we've had recently. We've had Storm Dory, which really took its toll on my polytunnel. Okay, so for me, the main attraction for me at the moment is my grapevine. This is one that I put in last year. Last year I only got 2 bunches of grapes of each vine. This year I reckon there's easily 30 bunches. This is what they're looking like so far. There's tons of grapes on there. The problem I'm having with it is trying to manipulate it to do what I want it to do, go in the areas that I want it to go in. And it is quite a delicate plant to manipulate, so you have to do it really, really slowly. Because if you try and do it too fast, you end up breaking branches, which I've done so already. And lost a couple of bunches of grapes. But as you can see, there's just bunches everywhere. These are actually wine grapes. I did eat them last year, they were okay. Don't think I've got enough grapes to be making any wine. Just duck underneath here. So I reckon these will be ready probably another month at least. So by the time I do my next video, these will be ready. The bunches were like longer, but I watched a video about grapes and they say to take off the end bits, which makes sense, to put more growing things into the actual grapes that are left. So yeah, basically just trying to manipulate it into put some string along the middle there. You probably can't see it, but they are gravitating towards the string with a little help. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this one, but it'll probably end up going across that bar, hopefully. And then I'm going to have problems with this one here. I'm trying to get it to go to its left, and then hopefully go on that middle bit of string there, but I don't know if it's ever going to make it. We'll see what happens in a month's time. Anyway, that's it. I believe there's nothing else growing. I'll see you guys in a month. If you enjoyed my videos, please subscribe, like. If you've got any comments, any suggestions, I'm happy to listen to some suggestions. I've had a couple of tips already, which I've I do listen to and I do make changes. Yeah, that's it. Like, share, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Okay, bye.